What's up guys, it's Raymond with another video, and it's going to be another financial statement analysis today. We done a video on Nordex, which was I believe I titled it the fifth in our stock market and financial statement analysis series. It was actually the fourth, so I'm going to have to change it because we skipped the first one, which the first stock in the German energy sector, because that stock is going to be delisted. So this one is going to be actually the fifth in our series. But if you're new to my videos, what we do with the financial statement analysis is kind of indicative of the title. Is we look at the three top financial statements of a company, that being the cash flow statement, the balance sheet, and the income statement. And from there, we look for key indicators of financial health, and we determine the overall financial with an estimate the overall financial health and financial viability of a company's future. So without further ado, let's get into SMA solar technology. So as you can see, I've invested £1 into this company. I'm not too sure exactly when I did this. I might be able to check here if I go into, actually no, I can't. So yeah, I invested £1 and my return was -7%. So that's 5.45% loss, just based on the market, the market fluctuation, and the foreign exchange impact was 1.55%. That's not too big of a focus in this video, but we are going to move on to the key ratios. So the market cap is 1.44 billion euros at the current period. It's a Sunday today, so the market will be open at 8 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time tomorrow. The revenue figure for the last financial year was 983.67 million euros, and the earnings per share was -84 cents. So the company made a negative profit the last financial year, which is of course not a good indicator. The beta, which is the market volatility, was 1.07, which is about 7% higher than the market average of 1. So the risk level, if you're trying to calculate risk level for potential investment, the beta is one of the most important factors or ratios you would look at with regard to volatility and how much risk you're willing to take on. So we're going to skip the about section, but we're going to look at the financials. The employee figure is 3,525, and we're going to go into the financial statements. Let's see if it has any financial statements. Very interesting. I don't think it does. If it doesn't, that would be very bad. Oh, it does. Cool. So the income statement suggests that the company has made a negative profit in the 2021 financial year, and it made a very small profit in the 2020 financial year, and also a very tiny negative profit in the 2019 financial year. So if you aggregate the profit over the last three financial years, the company probably made a little bit over zero. So the company essentially didn't do anything in the last three financial years. That might sound dismal, but it's the facts that are speaking, and we can't ignore the facts. So let's look at the balance sheet. So the balance sheet suggests the company has just over 50% debt to asset ratio. I would say around 60 to 70% debt to asset ratio. That figure coupled with the lack of profit I would say definitely negatively reports or negatively portrays the company for a potential investor trying to invest in a company that has financial strength. I wouldn't say this is a company that, based on its balance sheet figures and income statement figures of the last three financial years, is a viable investment. Let's look at the cash flow statement, which is the last of the three financial statements and see if the company has managed to redeem itself with the net change in cash figure. So net change in cash for the last financial year was 9.73 million euros. The prior financial year was 91.09 million euros, and the prior financial year was 72 million euros. So having a positive or negative net change in cash doesn't necessarily determine whether or not the company is strong. The cash flow statement is kind of the last of all of the three financial statements. So it kind of shows the ending of the story, if you will, of what a company is doing with its operating income. So the profit margin / net income is the figure that the company makes after all the taxes and all the expenses are paid. So the free cash flow is probably the starting. Net profit is similar to the free cash flow, which is the starting line of the balance sheet, which from the starting line of the balance sheet to the end of the end of the cash flow statement, we can kind of see what the company is doing with its free cash. And we can see here that the company has started off with negative 8.63 million euros, and it's managed to this is the 2019 financial year, by the way. It started off with a negative figure of 8.63 million euros, and it managed to depreciate 45.96 million euros worth of plant and equipment. So that's the biggest figure with regards to the income, or rather the gain from the cash flow. The investing activities, which is the second part of the cash flow statement, suggests that the company gained 83 million euros worth of cash. Let's see how it done that. So ignoring the capital expenditures, which takes out 27 million euros, other investing cash flows was 110 million euros. It doesn't specify which specific other investing cash flow items those are, but in net it's 110.64 million euros, and overall it is 83.05 million euros. And the last part of the cash flow statement, just before the net change in cash, which is the conclusion, suggests that the company lost 10 million euros, that being not from cash dividends paid, but by retirement of stock. So retirement of debts, that being paying off debt. So it used some of the net cash to pay off some debt, which is totaling about 10.67 million euros. So in aggregate, the company managed to, through mainly other investing cash flow items, so gaining cash flow from other investing items that were made, investments probably made in previous years, and also from the depreciation of capital. So those are the two main ways that the company had managed to come up with a positive net change in cash figure of 72.16 million euros. I want to thank you guys for watching this video, and I will see you guys in the next one.